people.
People remembered
Mark.
the bit where I interrupt you. They remembered it. They remembered it, dude.
Yes. Yes, there are at least 7 or 8 people who did remember it. No one said they liked it, by the way. No one said they liked the bit. It's Mark and Carlo. You only interrupt your own name, you fuck, by the way. I should just leave you out. It's Mark. It's everyone's favorite, Mark. This is now our 4th episode.
5th. I knew you were going to get it wrong.
No, it's our 4th.
It's our 4th?
Yeah, you dumb fuck. This is our 4th episode. We just aired the first episode, so we're kind of staggering these. We're recording ahead of time. So our first podcast just went out, and you guys, we've had nothing but amazing feedback. Thank you guys so much. All the comments, all the likes, it's super helpful. Thanks to everyone who's listening on Spotify and checking it out on Apple Music. That's super cool and helpful. We're super excited.
Mark, you listen to podcasts on Apple Podcasts, not Apple Music. You listen to music on Apple Music, you fuck.
Is it a different fucking app?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, well.
It's a
fuck.
It's a real fuck.
Well, you can listen to Here Comes the Poop on Apple Music.
That's very true. Or Spotify. And all of the platforms. It's still there.
Here comes the poop. Here comes the poop. Here comes the poop. Here comes the poop. I need here comes the poop. Here comes the poop. Here comes the poop. Here comes the poop.
Do you know I actually used that when I was potty training my kid? I tried to show him that to explain the poop needs to come out of your butt. And then, yeah.
We had to explain that where the poop comes from. Bro. He hasn't been dealing with that.
No, this was a year ago. This was when he was 2. Potty trained very
early. I think, yeah, but yet, why would you have to explain that? What's he going to do? Put his face over it? Over the toilet?
Because when they're sitting on the toilet, they don't understand, because he would get scared that something was coming out of his body. Because before it just happens and you're in the diaper but now you're sitting on the toilet and you feel it coming down. So I showed him the Deandra poop video.
All right. Start doing only audio podcasts, guys, because these visuals we are just starting out. Yes, please stop. Oh, God damn. This is an audio medium, and this is why. I can't believe you had to show me that. You know, I know where it comes from, right? You fucking idiot. I don't think I've ever, look, I don't have kids, so I don't know that much about potty training, but I have never heard anyone say that the kids are scared when they realize poop is coming out of their butt.
It's very much
kids seem to giggle and laugh that they love the fact that poop comes out of their butt.
He would sit on the toilet. It would take about 20 or 30 minutes. He would read multiple books. And then when it started to come, he would go, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. Yeah, it's okay, bud. It's okay. It's okay.
I'm just thinking about how fast this video got demonetized on YouTube already.
Probably.
I mean, not even for the good stuff.
Whoo!
Welcome to the world's shittiest podcast. You're not the only one with shit-ass bits. Pun intended. You know, when we were doing one of the last recordings, we were talking about AI. We were looking at those AI thumbnails. If you haven't listened to that podcast, listen to it. They had hilarious AI thumbnails. And it got me and Carlo thinking about, you know, if we were to do a new episode of MPGiS that involved AI, that, you know, Carlo, we were talking about, like, it would be funny if there was something like the school brings in some AI system to, like, help students, to, like, help them either govern homework or what have you. And then the AI just starts to become, you know, you got to do that kind of Terminator thing with AI becomes like a school bully.
Right, where it becomes sentient.
Yeah, exactly. The AI is just like texting you in the morning, like, that's what you're going to wear. And it's like, oh, fuck.
Just like passive aggressive about shit.
It all just like, yeah, Mackenzie and Brittany, they don't know how to deal with, they've never been bullied. No one's ever been bullying them, but now this supercomputer's bullying them. So there's only one person who can help them understand how to deal with a bully.
Oh, yeah, finally my time has come, baby.
Well, the student has become the master.
I mean, technically,
what you have to do is, first off, hide all the sharp objects, because you're going to get sad.
Listen, you need some good tissues. You're going to cry a lot, and you're going to cry at home.
You're going to need quality tissues and make sure they have lotion, infused lotion.
Get the lotion ones, but get them unscented, because you're going to get sick of that smell, because that thing's going to be up your nose frequently. Because these are snot tears. These are not just little baby tears. These are full snot bubble tears. Okay.
Rachel, is all your advice just how to deal with being sad? Don't you have any like ideas of how to beat this? Well, you're my bully, so if I fucking beat you,
if I ever everyone won. I tried sucking
everyone
everybody's
won?
dick.
I was fucking prom queen. Did that fucking help at all?
It made it worse.
Yeah.
I should just throw it under the radar, man.
You want my fucking advice? Fucking lay low. Fucking
Amberlynn Webergers, baby. You show up once every season.
now look, I got this bright red hair. I'm gorgeous as fuck. I'm gonna be a target. I get it.
Come at me, bro. It's so funny.
People gonna hate what they ain't.
Exactly. But yeah, it's like you hear like every well-meaning non-tech savvy adult is like, oh, you should do that with AI. You should do this. You can do this with AI. It's like, oh yeah, you can introduce that to the school. And it's like, it's gonna really help you guys do school better. It's like, no, it's just gonna absorb everything that's terrible about high school and then spit it back out at you in the worst way.
Whenever we talk about trying to bring back the show and stuff, if we talk to fans or direct people, they're like, maybe you guys can raise money, try to do something. A lot of the fans in the comments about like a GoFundMe or something. And we're trying to figure something like that out, maybe, or maybe getting the Patreon sorted properly. Maybe that can be a place where we can raise money, but we have to figure out how we would even do it. And we have to set a goal because we don't want to just take money and be like, oh, we'll see what we do. But whenever I talk to industry people, whenever we talk to anyone, not creatives, but like executives or, our management stuff, they're like, what about AI? Can't you like AI now? Can't you just like have a computer like make the show? And it's like, no, that's going to there's no fucking way that's going to come out well. Now, don't get me wrong. Maybe we can do something with computers and some kind of assistance, but we can't just type into Claude, Brittany points to her growler and get a really nice
animate that, please.
Yeah. Although I could be dead wrong about that. If you've seen some badass AI, full on AI animation, hey, let us know. Because I'm not, I'm not that much of an artist. I'm a writer. I don't give a fuck how it looks.
All of our former animators watching this are emailing Mark immediately being like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
So angry. Do you think, okay, let's say we were to, try to bring back MPGIS.
Yeah.
Do you think that MPGIS, if it was like a replica of what it was, same tone, same kind of everything, that things have changed so much in this kind of more protective, culture that it would still work, or there would be people who'd be more upset about it? Because again, the main characters are not good people.
No. The
bullies are the heroes.
I think there are a few jokes that we would not do, but I think that our writing style would naturally kind of filter those out, right? Like like when they tell Dan to kill himself. I think we would. I think we're more creative than we were at that point. But I think you and I made a point of getting deep into the characterization, and it's offensive, and maybe there are people who would watch it and be like offended on the behalf of people, but I think everything still works. I think it's funny watching it back. The humor still tracks for me, which is kind of crazy.
And let me follow that up with, do you think that, now with shows like Euphoria, that Most Popular Girls in School is actually tame, and we'd actually have to step it up to be a satirical, because MPGS was supposed to be just kind of like this over the top version of every kind of high school thing. Well, Brittany looks like a fucking pussy compared to the people on Euphoria.
Right. Well, I think part of it is also just the fact that when the series was on, I feel like it started to trend toward almost a retro look at how high school was, of the cheerleaders are the popular ones, and this, and which became very less true in Gen Z.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, I'm old. I don't know that it might still be that way. But with something like Euphoria, which by the way, I fucking hate Euphoria so much. Fucking light me up.
Hot take. Let him know in the comments.
It's a steaming pile of dog shit show. Jesus Christ.
I'll be honest, I didn't make it past the third episode, but I hear lovely things.
I watched through the whole first season, and I kept waiting for it to get better, and it just kept getting worse. And I think having written this show that is there's shock value to our show. There's lots of poop. There's lots of stuff. But I was just like, this is not just dumb shit for the sake of dumb, shocking shit. There's nothing here. It's like, ugh. I fucking hate that shit.
Wow. What
so
a
much.
Jesus Christ. You know,
light me up in the comments. I'll argue with you about it.
I didn't. Yeah, by the way, we're reading and going through all these comments because we are egomaniacs. So, if you see the MPGiS account right back to you and stuff, that definitely is us.
Yeah.
One of us.
It's also something worth talking about. Like, when we were doing the show, they always tell you don't read the comments. We always did. We always read
we just have
all the comments.
an amazing audience.
Yeah, and they're
just not mean. They're just so fucking nice.
It's insane for this show, and this is what we would always tell people in meetings and stuff. We'd be like, you would think that the fan base for this show would just be like, fuck this, fuck that. It would just be fights all the time. It is the most kind-hearted, welcoming, open community of any fan base that I've ever seen online. And there were a few times when like you would see a comment of somebody like being nasty to somebody else, and like everybody rushes over and is like, oh no, we don't talk that way to each other here. We curse, we make up every curse word in the book. We're dirty as fuck, but we're nice to each other.
I was bracing myself for a wave of pissed off people when we posted the first podcast episode. Because I'm just like, look, this is not MPGIS. And people who love this channel, they just want that. They're not going to like a lot of focus on something else, even though this is MPGIS, but you know what I mean? And I was just like, but I think a lot of people will like it, but then we're going to get a lot of hate too. And I'm ready for that. And fucking nothing. It was nothing. Not even one. Love. What are you wasting your time? I mean, humbling, guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it was very cool to read stuff. And the only thing that made me feel bad was the amount of people that were like, oh my God, I started watching this when I was 9 and now I'm 35.
Exactly. Oh my God, this brought me up and now I have children. It's like, all right, just fucking relax. Relax. Christ. But it did make me feel good. A lot of comments saying Mark looks the same and Carlo's old as shit.
Yeah. But that's what having kids will do to you. It really will. Like when I was watching back the first one, I was like, Jesus Christ, why are so like the bags on my eyes are so bad? And I was like, oh right, because I'm up till I wake up at 4:30 in the morning every morning.
Well, I think it also helped me that the first episode I was completely out of focus for the entire thing, which really gave me a nice soft glow. There you go. Now you can start to see the gray coming in.
You can see over here the gray has already come in long ago.
It's everywhere. I mean, you're wearing like a badge of honor. Should we jump into the first episodes? We're in episode 7 now. We're getting into the second half of season 1.
This is where we start like spreading our wings a little bit. I think this is also the point. Like, so we planned out the basic plot of the season after episode 4 when we committed and said like, all right, we're gonna do a season. We're gonna do 12, 13 episodes. Yeah,
we're gonna end at, is it homecoming or prom? At prom.
Yeah. And this is the point where we start going, all right, let's explore the world a little bit more. Let's see what the other things around here are, so that it's not just cheerleader Van Buren, cheerleader Van Buren, cheerleader Van Buren. Now,
I think also when we were trying to think of how does it end, like we really did plan everything out. Like the arms getting ripped off, we knew that. We knew there'd be a tug of war, but then I think we were like, who wins, and what's going to be a fun ending? And I think we realized, the funnest ending would be if Rachel Tice somehow won. Now, I don't know if we figured out her master plan by the time we do this episode, but this episode is all about that. So I think this is when we decided to introduce this concept that, Rachel Tice has got something intriguing going on. I mean, this is really the most... No, this is kind of just continuing that deep narrative thing of like, we're telling one big story.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. And building out the world, building out the world, building out the world. And this is the first time we recognize that Rachel and Judith are friends. Yeah.
And after we watch this, we'll talk about the reception of this episode and how it led me and Carlo down the wrong path. All right, here we go. So this is season 1, episode 7. Ooh, really quick, before we start playing this, guys, I'm going to put a survey on the YouTube channel for this video and also on the Spotify channel. asking, do you guys like that we are doing this kind of director's commentary and going over the entire episode and including that in the podcast? Or would you guys prefer if we just maybe took snippets out of that portion instead of watching the entire thing on the podcast? And then we'll upload the full episodes with director commentary separately. That way the podcast, you don't have to listen to the entire episode. If you guys like it, let me know. If you guys want to do more of like a selects thing, let us know. So we're going to put a little survey and that'll help us determine what we do moving forward. Season 1, episode 7, the least popular girls in school.
Oh, Judith, our plan is coming.
This is a weird Rachel voice right there.
So good.
Yeah, you were still figuring out who Rachel was.
It's so diabolical. There's so many twists and turns.
Yes, it is like we are the 2 new characters on Gossip Girl.
Yeah, like once our plan is executed at prom, you and I are gonna be
Fucking
like,
Judith, me trying to animate that little grill on her face that keeps moving up and down.
The combination of her grill, her glasses, just nightmare for stop motion.
Rachel, Mom told me to tell you that Teen.
Oh, and here is
Bridget Tice.
Bridget Tice, by far the best part of this episode.
Oh man, she comes in throwing 100, just going.
She just told me to tell you.
Well, I know, okay.
And this is Kristen Tarbett who voiced Bridget Tice, and we definitely did not have in the script her full list of negative things.
Oh my god.
We
yeah.
just thought it was funny how sad she was, and yeah, she just riffed, a whole litany of things. And I think I included all of it.
Yeah.
I was like, this is just funny.
25% control of my sphincter muscles. I get a clicking sound in my jaw when I eat. I drive a 91 Dodge Neon.
And this was always one of our favorite parts of recording. Is just when we'd sit there and be like, oh, what about this? Throw this in there. How about this?
Yeah. Well, I also just love the Bridget Tice doll. It does look like an older sister. This is like, another Disney doll, so it's got a completely humongous head.
Brave.
Better than you.
But it was always that tricky thing of trying to find dolls that look like adults because there are no adults.
Exactly.
Why would you want to go to a
But
pizza
Disney would
restaurant?
always have some adult looking
She
adults.
goes for the salad.
Yeah, and the meats.
Yeah, well, if we ever
when
have a
we really
special
started
on
leaning
Greek
into Pizza
salad,
Street.
I'll let you know.
Setting up the
I'm gonna
lore
go
of
watch
Pizza Street that we would eventually visit.
Gossip Girl.
Right.
No, Girls on HBO. Kind of like Gossip Girl.
Also, there's
but more
so
kids.
much
Don't
just
erase my
2012
I'm going to
reference in
watch it
here.
in the family
Girls,
room.
Gossip
Yeah.
Girl.
She'd be watching Euphoria now, and
Yeah.
Carlo would be upset about it.
Okay.
Like, what fucking dog shit.
Bye, Bridget.
Yeah, that's right. Walk away. Like a bitch.
Like a bitch.
And that's the perfect essence of Rachel. As soon as you turn around, you want to feel bad for her, and then as soon as you turn around, she thinks she's big shit. Also, this ending shot of Cameron with the little horns
Yeah.
on it really doesn't make that much sense. And then,
No, I'm just looking at that like, is that why did they hate Cameron Van Buren?
I mean, presumably Cameron Van Buren bullied them last year, I guess.
Oh, okay, there
They
you
were
go.
sophomores or whatever. But yeah, I think we just had that from the Cameron Van Buren box.
Yeah, we literally cut that out of the box. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah,
Because we didn't keep the Britney box.
exactly. But yeah,
Would have made more sense if it had been anyone else.
we didn't know it was gonna be a thing.
Well, I like that I chose to end the episode locked on that shot because I did not want to shoot a wide shot of a chase and someone getting beat up. So I was like, we'll just go off camera. So that's why I focused in on it because I'm like, I need some because those blueprints were
dramatic.
nothing.
Right.
Yeah. So I was like, I'll just zoom in on this and have them pass the camera and that'll make my life a fuck ton easier.
Yep. So that was episode 7. Christine Tarbett as Bridget, just fucking amazing in that. And so the way that we brought Christine in was she was in a separate group that we were in, not the group that did the first MPGIS sketch, a different group that we were in that had a lot of future MPGIS cast. Afton, who would play Jenna Darabont, Ray, who would play Tristan. I think Garrett did some stuff with them too, but Christine goes in there and like, I think we kind of used Daria as a template for that character.
Oh,
like
okay.
a
So I wasn't
sadder-
sure if we had her be that sad or if Christine just came in and did that.
It
And
was
we
a
were
little bit
like,
both.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because
I-
it was
I-
just funny how at first I was like, ugh, there's nothing here. She's so deadpan. But then once it started to be like, oh, she just lists off these horrifying things. Now this is funny.
Of just she's dead inside and nothing can kill her anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that.
Every now and then in the show, and I'll try to point it out where I can. Every now and then, sometimes, even if sometimes voices just didn't quite work.
Right.
They just weren't, not necessarily the voice actor. Often it would be somebody who had already done another voice that was great. It just wasn't quite the right match, or we couldn't figure it out. And so, that sometimes resulted in characters not coming back, because I was like, fuck, we just locked in something and I don't love it.
Yep.
This one, I can remember when we recorded this, when it started, I was like, ugh, this is the bad use of Christine. It's so boring. And then when we figured out that list and she started saying some of that shit, like sometimes my jaw clicks when I close it. I'm like, oh, this is fucking funny as shit. And then that became one of our favorite characters. Like, we couldn't wait to get her in. See
any place where we could find her. Like there's a reason why she shows up chaperoning the prom. I think like in the random holiday episodes, like,
well, she's also clearly does and gets into some pretty dark shit. Right. Like dark sexual shit sometimes. Yeah. It's like she's a character from Euphoria. Yeah, like exactly. She seems like real sad, depressing shit happens to her.
That's true. That is 100% true.
She's in fact, I think we would literally just be like, how can we work her into these episodes? Where can we find places? Yeah, she becomes like, in the Christmas episode, she's just one of the elves. Why would she ever agree to take that job? Yeah. Or she's the chaperone at the dance. Why would she ever agree to do that? It's like, we just wanted her in there.
Yep. And Christine was 100% like one of those utility players that we're like, where can we fit you in? Can we write you a different character? We had her do voices in Havoc. We talked about in an earlier episode how like we just had a repertory cast that we built up of our friends that we knew could go, that could improv, that could do voices, that if we told them the character, they're like, all right, let's fuck around with it. And
you guys can check out Christine Tarbett. Also, her social media is still incredibly funny. She's still posting a shit ton of funny content.
Yep.
Unlike us.
Fucking A.
We don't post
blowing smoke up our own asses talking about how great we were.
Dude,
it's also worth diving into here Lily's Judith voice, because Judith shows up at the end of the $57 lunch episode as like a one-off character. And I think the original thing with Judith was like Lily just grabbed that doll and like started doing that voice or something when we're like making sets or something.
I remember being like, Lily was so excited how much of a train wreck she was.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's such a departure vocally from Brittany.
Without a doubt. I don't think people would know it's the same character.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas like you hear Deandra and Rachel and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna guess the same guy does both of those voices poorly. There's my vocal range.
Does it sound like a gremlin who's hiding inside of a human's body? That's a Carlo character.
That's me. But yeah, and then like eventually I feel like the Judith and Rachel voices became the bane of your existence when Lily would come and record and we would just go into those characters and riff on them. You'd be like, shut the fuck up, you guys.
Well, here's the irony of it is they are also two of my favorite characters
100%,
to write for. And in fact, if I'm ever doing like an impression, I always do Rachel because I think it's so fun. Like even earlier when we were talking about that episode, I'm like, exactly. Look who it is. And like, I don't like her voice, but I do think her character is so funny. I like losers. Losers are fucking funny to me, especially when they try to act cool.
Oh my God.
When Rachel Tice is like, walk away like a bitch. Like, you can tell how badly she wants to be cool, and she's just not. I fucking love characters like that. That's probably why I like Than so much. So while I hate the sound of them,
fucking nails on a chalkboard or cats in a bag.
They're two of my favorite when we can fit a bit. And what's so funny is I did not think this was going to be a good episode. Like, again, don't like these characters. And I'm like, this is just not like the others. It's just not that crazy. It's not that. And I remember we both were shocked at how much people loved this episode.
Yeah, because this episode's a sketch. Whereas we were with the previous couple of episodes, we're starting to build plot and we're telling a story. And this has a tiny amount of that right in the front where Rachel's talking about her master plan. But more than anything, it's just watching two losers be losers.
Right. Exactly. And I was just like, man, but everyone loved this episode. I mean, it was, again, I think Bridget really just was a huge hit and still is. But what's funny is later in season 2, when we get back and we're doing it, we were like, oh, we're going to do another Rachel episode. People will love that because they loved that first Rachel episode. And we do the second one. And Carlo, do you remember like so much hate?
So much. It might be
People
like our least
fucking
popular
hate.
episode. I think it's called The New Reality.
So, if I understand you correctly, you are saying that we are not popular?
The day I hang out with you is the day I floss my fucking teeth.
Yeah. Wait, what?
Brittany, you really should be flossing twice a day. Gingivitis can actually lead to cancer.
It's true. That's how my dad died.
All right, that's enough of that.
Yeah, they're like, fuck these characters. Who gives a shit about them? Can we get back to the main character? And people were excited about the new main plot. They were just like, we don't want these anymore. We're like, oh, whoa, we just completely misread that. You guys like you loved them.
Because it went like the pregnancy episode, then into the Rachel and Judith episode, and people were just like, focus on the main characters. And that was the like wake up call of, oh, Rachel and Judith are seasoning. They're not steak. And it was us starting to understand storytelling and how to write for different characters, and the different characters serve different purposes, right? Of like Rachel can't support main story stuff. Right. Whereas Mackenzie, not only can she support main story stuff, she's one of the main characters who's going to do a lot of the exposition, right? Yeah. Her character, the way that it's wired and everything, she's going to have tons of comedic moments, but she can also get exposition out. Whereas someone like Rachel, you're not going to give her a main story. She's going to be a B or a C story.
Well, and she's fun to add into scenario. They're both fun to add, but like I remember after that in season 2, and we did the episode that was another one of them that just got really raked over the coals. That we'd always talk later, like, well, we got to do something different because we know Rachel and Judith cannot carry an episode. They cannot. So like we would either have to like add them to a group, or we did one where they were with Deandra, remember, or Jenna Dapananian brought in. So like it was always a thing of like they
were
need
hooked up
support.
with Shay in season 5.
Yeah. I mean, we still use them. They're awesome. I still love them as characters, but it was a funny thing that we were like, and again, that's the coolest part about doing this show, especially in that why I think it would have been a great TV show, is it was such an awesome a way to test and develop it with the audience. We read every fucking comment, and it was just like, okay, they're not liking this, or oh wow, they fucking loved that. That putting in that, like, especially when we started recognizing, oh, they're loving narrative twists. Yep. Like they're really paying attention. In fact, when we get into episode 11, where we made a massive canon mistake and forgot that
that Ashley Cacciatore was not in charge of the door.
Yeah, the Cacciatore was not in charge of the door. We thought we just didn't go back and check, and all the fans were like, whoa, she's not in charge of the door, and they were trying to figure out like what's going on here, something different. We're like, holy fuck, we fucked up, but now. That was the most interesting thing of like this became a show that became very much about fun twists and storylines and that kind of intrigue, because we recognized in the fans they were loving that, which was fun for us because it's a lot more fun than just another bit about how can we make pooping funny.
Exactly. Yeah, I think the more that we were able to get into like, oh, but what if this happens? What if this happens? And Mark, I think that's one of your real skills as a writer. And I will give you all credit for like, we'll get into this eventually, but the big twist at the end of season 3 was all you, that Mackenzie was behind everything. And I remember when you pitched that to me, I was like, shut the fuck up.
I was like, I got
incredible. Yeah, you can't, like, you very rarely will talk nicely about yourself, but that day you came in and you're like, I fucking nailed it, dude. I've got it.
I do love that kind of storytelling. And I really like, a lot of people may think like, holy fuck, how long do they plan this? A lot of it is like reverse engineering. Like we came up with the season 3 that Jenna Darabont was behind everything. I think we came up with that like maybe in the beginning of season 2. Yeah. Because we realized we made that horrible mistake. Yep. We didn't know what to do quite.
And we could not forgive ourselves for making that mistake. We were like, we will make this right. We will retcon it so it looks like we knew what we were doing the whole time. We're not idiots. You hear that? We're not idiots.
And then I think we came up with the idea and we just held on to it. We're like, all right, that's going to be season 3. We're going to wait. And that's going to be fucking epic if we get that right. And that's why you see a teaser of Jenna Darabont at the end of season 2.
Yeah, at the end of season 2. But, going back to Rachel and Judith here, what's so funny is that when we realized that Rachel and Judith don't work as main characters, you didn't see them for a long time.
Right. We got so scared of them.
We were
so scared
terrified of putting them anywhere. So that's why they're not in most of season 2. And when they do show up, so like they don't show up again in season 2 until like they're doing like the cheer tryouts, I think. And it's literally a line of like, where you guys been? We've kind of been doing our own thing.
Oh yeah, the want to play some knives?
Want to play some knives? And we're like, all right, this like those lines just cracked us up. So we're like, we'll put that in there.
Yeah.
But with this episode, we definitely were not expecting the reaction that we got of people loving Rachel and Judith on their own. So that's why you start seeing them pop up more and more as characters throughout the first season, and not just as like the little thing at the end of episodes like before.
It was always interesting too that, the other thing that fans taught us was like everyone had a different favorite. Some people were like Deandra's everything. Some people were like Mackenzie's everything. Brittany's everything. And some people were like Rachel. Rachel is so funny. And some people even love Judith, which remarkable. But
which like when we would do VidCon and stuff, I think Rachel was the voice that I was asked to do the most, which is why I left every VidCon sick and without a voice. Because if you try to talk like this for 6 fucking hours in a crowded convention center, you will lose your fucking voice, bro.
That is so fucking funny.
Yep. But yeah, like, looking at this episode also, I think this episode and the next one we're looking at, it's interesting. This is probably the most reference heavy that we get in the series. Like the series always has a lot of like timely references and stuff, but because we're making it and we don't necessarily know it's a thing, I wrote in a lot of those specific 2012 references of Teen Wolf, Girls, Gossip Girl. And you'll see it a lot in the next episode where it's all 2003 specific stuff.
Any pop culture references are Carlo.
Yep.
Because I wasn't keeping up with any of that shit. I mean, I do not have my fucking finger on the pulse, folks. I can tell you that right now. Carlo would be like, oh, people are really into this thing. We're going to bring it up. They'll lose their mind.
Well, it's like looking back at it now, there's a Rachel's watching Teen Wolf, the Teen Wolf reboot. There was like a dramatic, do you remember that? You remember that show?
No.
So you remember the movie Teen Wolf, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, from the 80s. It's fucking great. By the way. If you haven't seen it, go watch the Michael J. Fox Teen Wolf movie. But they made a dramatic...
Jason Bateman's better, but continue.
In Teen Wolf 2? T-O-O? Are you fucking kidding me? Jesus Christ.
Sometimes you just got to poke the bear. Go ahead.
Seriously. Bring up Euphoria again. I dare you.
I fucking dare you to bring up Zendaya.
Dare you. I think as the series went on and the world kind of became its own thing, I think those dropped off a little bit.
We definitely tried not to be too topical, mostly because we just didn't know when things would get posted and stuff. And it took a long time to write, record, and shoot stuff. Mm-hmm. But like, yeah, you think about like season 3, the whole bad guys are hipsters, which is like that whole concept isn't even really a thing as much anymore.
It was very timely at the moment.
Yeah, at the moment they were a problem.
At the moment it hit, man. But yeah, so that was season 7, or episode 7.
Yep, that was the misleading episode 7 that made me and Carlo go, "Oh, these two characters are huge."
We can do so many things with them.
We're so wrong.
You have they have a very specific role, and that was our real like starting to understand. There's a hierarchy of who can get an A story, who can get a B story, who's a one-line character. Like these are all not the same. So it was really educational for us as writers.
Yeah. So, all right, next episode, we're going to be looking at episode 8. This is another kind of very unique idea that, I mean, I think because so this is the 3rd grade episode.
Yep.
And because we brought up the 3rd grade in the 2nd episode, obviously one of my favorite lines, because that to me is like exactly what type of humor that really made me love your original script. And the original idea was that when you're in high school, you are around people that you have some of them you have known most of your childhood, mm-hmm. and you have all grown up together in these same schools, and you remember shit that happened. So like the idea of like hasn't lied since the 3rd grade. It's like, that's fucking funny. I can think of what? That person didn't do that since blah, blah, blah. Like, you just know their entire lives, and you have to say their full name, obviously, because, you know, there's multiple Jennifers and Chris's and Sams and whatever. It just, that was so what I love. So I'm sure that's why we brought up third grade again as like a funny thing. And then I don't know when we came up with the concept of like, oh, we can do a full flashback episode. I know it wasn't after we had looked up how to find dolls like this, because I would have vetoed it.
Oh my God, that is like, I don't know how you animated this. It's insane. Well,
when we get into the animation, one, I mean, again, we didn't have these characters. I think maybe we knew of that there were smaller little figurines
because we had Michaela.
But yeah, and I don't know what these are like one of Barbie's,
this is Barbie's little sister.
Little sister, okay.
Barbie's little sister.
Yeah, oh, that's right. We had Michaela.
Yeah,
so we're like,
Michaela.
there's a few other of these we can get.
We've seen them at the stores.
What we didn't think about was, or I didn't think about is, one, most of these dolls, obviously they have stiff arms, but they're not straight. Some of them have this bent arm, so they can only do this weird thing, which is
Michaela's
nothing.
always like this. Michaela's always.
Yeah, and they can't tilt at all. They can just shake their head. Yeah. So all the performances is going to be that. The other thing that's a pain in the ass is they're so fucking small that a wide shot of them just shows everything. But getting super close and into it, it was just so tiny and difficult for me to keep things in. Like, not my favorite. Although this does have one of my favorite jokes, which is Matthew Derringer having his full Matthew Derringer voice.
Yeah, love that.
As a look at this is also the episode that I think, because we were at the whim of what little figures were available, that the only little black-haired girl we could have looked definitely Asian. And so we were like, okay, Mackenzie is gonna, let's just say she's half Asian, because the original, why not?
I think in the lore, like, Mackenzie is officially like half Korean.
Yeah, exactly. It's like that fine, whatever. She looked at a lot more as a kid than she did later on, but fuck it.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so episode 9.
Episode 8.
This is thank you so much.
You got it.
This is episode 8, the third grade. And if I'm not mistaken, this went over pretty well too. I also really loved that we had to cut that one little doll's hair off.
Oh yeah,
because of the lice. And then of course that doll was completely useless. So then later we had to bring Shay back. The sandbox you're about to see is kitty litter. Here not used. This was shot in my tiny apartment. I can remember this vividly.
Did you have to buy the kitty litter for this?
You think I just had it?
I didn't know if you had a cat. I didn't go to your house.
No, I don't have a fucking cat. I have 2 now. But
also, that singing reference. That's a reference to the first episode of South Park. It's the way the first episode of South Park starts.
Oh, I don't even think I remember that. I also love that Rachel's hair is just. What the fuck color is that?
Well, because I think she's one of these dolls just with like red dye or marker or something.
Yeah, maybe we dyed it ourselves.
Yeah.
Oh God, that doll hair.
Yeah, the Shea Van Buren hair is just.
I just really miss my hair, you guys. Hey, it's
So
only lies.
everyone's doing their regular voices except for Shay, which is being voiced by Haley Mancini, who did Trisha
Haley's
too.
first episode, yeah.
Because we just couldn't get Delman to sound like
we
a little
tried.
6-year-old. It wasn't gonna happen. But Haley's great.
Yeah. I mean, this is only Kate's second episode as Mackenzie too.
Oh, is that right?
People start feeling sorry for me.
Yeah, I think that line was a Haley improv.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Extensions? Oh, well,
Is this Haley's first episode?
This is Haley's first episode.
totally
Yeah.
natural.
Man, what a fucking gold mine it was working her.
Seriously. And then,
Look at this guy. Now, what did we do? Would we just take a Sharpie and write over a Yankees logo on his
I
shirt?
think it was a Jordan logo. Or I think it was like Jordan 23 or something.
I love it. We're like, you can't use that, but we're going to full on make a Pokemon deck.
Exactly. And
Dude,
then
you know how much it'd be worth if those kids had kept those cards? I love the little
this
chain
Tanner doll
wallet
is
he's
also a
wearing.
girl. It's definitely a girl doll.
Oh, that we had to,
give
yeah,
the boy
it's a girl doll. We had to cut its hair.
Which, like, you can tell they give the girl dolls like a little bit of makeup, which is fucked up.
Jesus. Oh wow, the Barbie doll industry is fucked up. That's crazy. I also love that the shirt is clearly a shirt that we've cut.
So excited for
Like, I think we made that shirt. I think we glued like fabric onto that kid.
amazing
Yep.
routines that
Tanner is played by
Jaquan.
Josh Fingerhut.
I love
I
that.
have a funny story about.
I
I think Pete was either out of town or just unavailable, and so we had a different voice for young Tanner.
Like a pretzel.
I prepared a monologue.
I love that we wrote the line, I can put my feet behind my head like a pretzel. And I was like, no, you can't.
You're gonna
This doll can't.
Exactly.
Why did we write a line about that?
say,
Yeah.
You know
It's like, hey, look at how bendy I am. It's like, you're not. You're just standing barely bent over.
Your sister Cameron was head cheerleader.
Your mom, Mrs. Van Buren, was her cheerleader.
That's such a fucking. Like,
Was
Carlo
Cameron
written line.
already a head cheerleader by this point?
Cameron?
You're gonna be our next
Yeah.
head cheerleader for the
She's
next
in the
9
5th grade or 3rd grade.
Just want you to know.
How would Cameron have been in high school?
Whoops! We just got
Whoops.
another inconsistency.
An honor.
Whoopsie whoopsie.
An honor to serve on your squad. Ditto for me.
And me as well.
I just love the way that like Mackenzie lays it on so fucking thick. She's so evil already.
Oh, no, this is some bullshit right here.
Oh, this-
Everybody knows that a Jigglypuff
this is
cannot
all
be beaten
improvised.
by a Mechatoad.
Because I didn't know any of these Pokemon.
None of us did. None of us knew anything about Pokemon. We were all elder millennials and younger Gen X.
sing
All of
song.
us.
For this card.
Dude,
Do you have
I
any
fell in
idea
love with
how many
Danger's voice in this
packs I
episode.
could've bought
Oh
with
my
You
God.
sing-songest son of a bitch.
And you can hear in their performances, like we're trying to cut around people laughing in the background and like them
Oh,
almost
yeah.
breaking. Like they were having so much fun with this. We just let them go.
I remember we were dying when he goes, when he's misspelling and not pronouncing his name. You're 9 years old, god damn it.
Yeah.
You're 9
Yeah,
years
right
old,
here.
God damn it.
Listen.
When he says damn it.
Not even close.
I was laughing. I was bursting out laughing when he said that in the recording.
Like Dave's amazing in episode 4, but here is where we were like, "Fuck it, man, we gotta find
Yeah.
this, put this character wherever we can."
Yep. No, I
Now
fucking loved it.
unleash upon you the full
This,
fury
the
of our
hacky sack he's
greatest
holding
weapon,
is a single
our
black
radical
peppercorn.
revolutionary
Black
hacky sack.
peppercorn.
Oh,
I-
dear and dear.
I got to, it's like, and that's obviously just a black little CG. It's a CGI hacky sack they hit it.
Yeah. Also, all those references. Tipsy by Jaquan, Ryan Cabrera, hacky sack. Keep in mind this comes out 2012, so it's me going, what was popular? 2003, 2004.
Yeah, not realizing this is going to fuck us in a show that goes on for years.
Promise you, throwing hacky sacks all around willy-nilly like this was a
You know,
goddamn X Games
Tipsy by
every day.
Jaquan, that got real popular like a year or two ago.
Stop hitting me,
With that
please.
country song.
It was an accident.
These are literally just me. You can see my finger every now and then entering the frame by their legs because I'm just holding them pressed together.
Van Buren, are you going to be able to go to your trial?
Also, my Rachel voice is just the terrible Rachel voice, but higher.
Oh, so awful.
I think you should go to the nurse's office. But what about your tryouts? Don't worry.
And then this moment from
I'm
Mackenzie.
sure everything will work itself out.
Like the fact that you were able to draw that much evil out of such an unanimated character. Very impressive,
Dad,
dude.
first time we
Yeah.
got. Rachel! Brittany! Let's go.
Yep. And then she just immediately becomes. Oh, and then Brittany's making out. with
Brittany's
Derek.
making out, right? Like this is all origin story of like Brittany's
It's all
always been,
about
like, this
violence
shit.
and sexuality, man.
Yep.
Hey, 1 second. Listen, never throw a hacky sack on the playground again.
Were those supposed to be friendship bracelets that all of them had? The little like,
lady
pink string or little strings that each of them has?
Dude, shit, fine.
That's what it was.
Elementary Mustangs. A title which she has carried to this day. I'm the first in my family to never carry the title of head cheerleader, and because of her, I never will. So to answer your question, Deandra, that is why
I just remembered that. Answer your question. We were like, that's a long answer.
Long story.
It's a full episode. Cool.
Rude, but that story was very long and much more involved than I originally thought.
I feel like Deandra's dress has come undone in the back.
Really?
Look how
Yeah, just
puffed
like-
out it was. Dude, I don't reshoot shit. It's like, uh-oh.
And then this moment, just
Did you just eat a roly-poly?
What? No, I did.
No. No. Okay, Rachel, No, we're no longer friends. Ever. Because
It was also interesting that find out in the comments, like a lot of people did never. That's not a common term, roly poly.
Yeah.
They were like, "What the hell does that mean?"
Like it means something different in each, like in different cultures. Like they everybody has a name for that, but it's like depending on what part of the U.S. you grew up in.
Yeah,
it's called a roly poly or something.
Pill version.
I don't know.
Yeah, the Derringer throwing the hacky sack. So I was doing that, shooting that in my apartment, and at this point, even though I have like 3 weeks, I'm usually filming these the day before I got to post.
Yep.
And I'm like, it's probably 1 a.m. and I have the whole set going, and then I get to the hacky sack line. I'm like, oh my God, I don't have a fucking hacky sack. Like, well, and I was living in like a shoebox, and I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna make a hacky sack. I remember the first thing I did was I cut some of my carpet. It was like a little puff of cloth, and I put that in his hand. I was like, that looks like fucking nothing. That's not a hacky sack. I'm walking around my apartment trying to figure out what to do, and I didn't have a kitchen in my apartment. So small it was. I had what's called a kitchenette, which is basically a walk-in closet with a hot plate.
Oh, so you didn't have a studio apartment. You had a bachelor apartment.
Yes.
That's
yeah. It was not technically a studio. It was literally a room with like a little hamper closet that had a shelf that I could put.
See, the shelf is what makes it not a prison cell.
Yeah. I had a little mini fridge. That was my full refrigerator.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And so anyway, I'm looking around the kitchen, and I have like a pepper grinder. Or just like a pepper that has like the whole peppercorns, and then you grind it. And so I broke that because you can't get that fucking lid off.
You can't open that. I was just gonna say, I was like, how'd you get
Broke it, got to a peppercorn, and then I put that in his hand. I'm like, that'll work. That's totally fine.
That's genius, man.
Totally ruined my peppers. The things I go for, and really, I could have done anything, and no one would have given a shit. It's so weird sometimes when I'm like, I want to get this right. Dude, the hacky sack's important.
That's this entire series is unnecessary attention to detail in certain spots. And complete abandonment of detail in other spots.
I think this is so funny in that this episode is kind of like, this is the first episode where you see Mackenzie like, she's been bitchy and awful, but this is her like reveling in a bit of sinisterness.
Right. I think when we would go out and pitch this, we would reference Cersei Lannister from Game of Thrones a lot when thinking about Mackenzie.
Yes, exactly.
Right,
She's just the master strategist who will do anything to hold on to power. And then, of course, we really push that forward later on. In fact, it's so funny. I just today posted a short on social media of Mackenzie giving the speech of like, I have done all these horrible things. I will destroy you. Like one of her big speeches.
Yeah.
And it's like, it is one of my favorite things about our show is that you have this high school where who really cares what's going on? And this girl is about as scary as fucking anything you're going to see in any other show. Yeah, she's as scary as Cersei Lannister, who fucking blew up the Citadel.
Right. It's the moment, like, to reference something else, it's when Cartman feeds Scott Tenorman his parents. When you're
dude, you know what? That's exactly right.
Right.
And that is one of my favorite episodes of all time.
Amazing.
And I think that, yes, I think those are like some of the best moments when we are able, if we're able to pull it off, which luckily we kind of like to do and revel in. And yeah, I think it's it makes the show really fun for people who are watching. And it makes it so that you almost have to, and you want to like go through and watch the whole thing. If you just jump into this show, it's not necessarily going to be nearly as fun.
Yeah, well, and that's, I think one of the things that came up often as we were writing the show and pitching it and everything was this idea that, pooping Barbies are going to get you in the door, and who the fuck are you? And like, that kind of stuff is like, you'll watch a YouTube video of that, but you're not going to watch 82 episodes of that if it's just that. Like, that's a sketch. It's a one-off. What people actually responded to and felt passionately about was the characterization, was the stories, was that everything went deep. And, from the jump, we were building backstory, and paying attention to it. Like this is the payoff to that, even though it's very early in the series of like, here is a long ranging story that exists.
Yeah. And it became an interesting thing of it was like whenever we found holes, or maybe because we were so specific all the time, we were like, if we find something we mentioned that was very specific and we just haven't touched on it, what can we do to kind of bring that back? So like, for example, is it Rachel McMiniman?
Jennifer McMiniman.
Jennifer McMiniman hasn't lied since the third grade.
Right.
So I think season 4 is when we finally meet Jennifer McMiniman, and we see the flashback of Seaon, and we're like teasing that whole little gambit of like, oh, what is the truth about Seaon? And then of course in season 5, obviously we get a lot of it's so fucking funny to me that was one of our biggest days of views and one of our most popular videos by far, at least on the release day, was about Seaon Marguerite. And is she from Canada or France? And it was like, that's what we tried to explain to people of like, this is not just like cursing Barbies. Like our biggest viewed video was about, is one of our characters from France or from Canada? Like that was a real big fucking deal. And it's like, that's super fun and cool that we can make it. And that became part of the fun of like finding those moments. And, you know, again, this is a bit of a teasy blue balls thing to say, but we even had little sneaky ideas of things that we didn't get a chance to get to, that we were still kind of saving to bring out, you know, if we were able to do future stuff.
Yeah, so give us money and we'll bring them out. Fucking holding this shit hostage, baby.
They're all just gonna be like, how do we give you money? Fuck, you don't have anything set up.
How do we give
Maybe
you
we
money?
will by this point. I don't know. I'm working on figuring out not how to get your fucking money, but how to do something.
Yeah. We're kicking
helpful.
around ideas, like even if it's just like opening our merch store again, like to create more ways for us to do most popular girl stuff. Maybe in one episode we can even go through like what the actual process is of crowdfunding something, because I think there's an interesting story of like, you know, we crowdfunded season 2, season 3, season 4 partially, and then you just dealt with it with your game, with dealing with Kickstarter all these years later, and it's evolved a lot since then. But there's so much that goes into it that, you know, if you're not in the middle of it, you wouldn't understand. And so, yeah, it might be worth diving into in an episode.
And well, the big thing is we, to a fault, we care very much and respect our fans and stuff. And we just don't want to take your money if we don't know exactly what we need and we don't think we could make it happen, you know? And frankly, we're experimenting, but like the way we made the show before, like if we're talking about season 5, it's too expensive. And I think if we were to try to do a fundraiser that would get more than that or get to a place that we could do that now, I don't know that we could hit that number necessarily. And we don't want to do something and fail. We'd like to get something we could hit and really get momentum going. So we're figuring that out, but maybe we do something a little different. You know, maybe it's not stop motion anymore. Maybe we try a different kind of medium, or maybe we dial things back and it doesn't look as good maybe, or I'm not sure. I don't know. We're still figuring it out. But we're loving this. We're loving doing this and revisiting it. It's giving us ideas, you know, like you saw earlier, and we're writing them down, keeping track. We're listening to what you guys have to say, and hopefully this thing we're gonna find a place to bring you something else. It may not be, even if it's not Most Popular Girls in School. Who knows? Maybe we'll find something else. But I think we're definitely gonna come out with some new fun stuff for you guys, because we're enjoying this.
And I mean, this podcast was the genesis of that conversation that we've been having, of just like, we should do something with the show. Like, you know, we know we can't make new animated episodes. Like, we don't have that amount of money. We don't have that kind of time. Let's fucking do something. And we landed on like, we can rewatch some episodes, put it up on a podcast, see what happens. And so far so good.
Yeah. And I mean, again, we started doing this because we saw such a really great response. We started posting shorts on social media. So, I mean, follow us on TikTok, follow us on Instagram, follow us on...
Before we go, I promised casting stories about this episode that we just watched.
Sorry. Yeah,
crazy ones. Yeah. I know when Mark starts listing off those socials, he's like, got to take a shit. So, but I think this episode is interesting because of there's a couple of interesting casting things. So this is Haley's first episode. Haley, who would later go on to play Trisha 2, and I think a bunch of other characters and do a bunch of stuff with us on Dr. Havoc. But Haley and I have been in a bunch of improv groups together, and so I brought her in. I think she had just gotten back to the US she'd been living in Amsterdam doing comedy, because there's a huge improv theater out there. And one of the creators of Ted Lasso came out of there. The guy who plays Coach Beard on Ted Lasso, I think they were in the same group together. And so she had just come back to the US. I was like, come do a voice on our show. I don't know if you've heard about it, but come do a voice, because Delman can't do young Shay. And Haley came in and killed it. And so then she became one of those go-to people that we were talking about, where it's like, where can we fit you in? Where can we create characters for you? Because obviously young Shay only exists in flashbacks. And that's how we eventually came up with Trisha 2. And then the other new actor in here is the guy who plays young Tanner, Josh Fingerhut, who Lily brought in. And I think she was friends with somebody that he knew. They knew each other a little bit. She brings him in. We're at your friend AJ's house. He's sitting about to record. And I go, I fucking know you, dude. He's like, I know you. We were in our first improv class ever together when I first moved back to LA. Had never, like, this was maybe 3 or 4 years later. Hadn't had any contact. Did a bunch of, had a lot of fun in class, but didn't know each other at all. And then he shows up to play a character in this show and reconnecting that way. But he was like the first person that I'd ever done any improv with at my 101 in UCB in 2007. So it's funny the way that those things come together.
Yeah, it is. And because I never fucking knew any of the voice actors because what part of the kind of deal we done for Split Up was like I had to do all the animation stuff. So you and Lily were really doing a lot of the casting. I was like, you guys set up the recording. I'll be there, but I'm not doing any of the scheduling. And so I'd literally just show up and be like, oh, nice to meet you. Who are you going to be playing? Oh, okay, let's figure this out. And then, yeah, exactly. We start messing around. And I mean, you guys were obviously just bringing in awesome people. So I really didn't have any concerns whatsoever. But no, just such a fun time.
Yeah, because it's wild. I don't think that Dave and Josh had ever met before we recorded this, and like the way that they just riffed with each other in that Matthew and Tanner scene was. I'm sure great.
That scene was about a quarter as long on the page.
Oh yeah,
and that we just had them keep messing around because that was so funny.
Yeah. There's a lot of lore in this episode, both from like the story standpoint, but also just from like the behind the scenes stuff and the casting and everything that went into this. What ended up coming out was really cool.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I grew to really enjoy these third grade episodes. I love the ones we do later with Than and the history of Brittany and stuff. Like, Of course, it is a ridiculous thing. And, if we'd only had access to more different types of characters, we could have done really funny, like junior high things. And it would have been fun to see, most popular girls in school juniors. But
because Trisha's not here. Trisha and Judith come at some other point. I think we established that they both showed up like in 8th grade or something. So there's another pitch for you. There's another episode pitch. Judith and Trisha's first day.
Oh, yeah. Those two characters just holding their own episode. I'm sure that would be no problem at all. What do you want to do? I don't know. What do you want to do? I don't know. Cool.
Those two never interacted, huh?
Fuck no. I doubt
That'd be
it.
a fun thing to hear in the comments of if you can think of specific characters who never had one interaction on the show. Because we did a lot of mix and match. Like, there was a lot of like, okay, this season, Shay's going to be over here with these characters. Oh, Deandra's going to be with these characters. We're going to play with the dynamics. But there's plenty of characters, I'm sure, like Trisha and Judith, who never spoke.
Trisha and Deandra spoke a couple times, but every time Deandra's like, I don't know who you are.
She's like, and you are... Sorry, can't place you.
All right, now, if I may say...
Bring them out.
Carlo. So, guys, we are paying attention to all your guys' comments. We really are reading them, responding. So be sure to follow us on TikTok, Instagram, obviously subscribe to the YouTube, and check us out on Spotify. This is really cool seeing people listening and following us on that. That's really exciting, as well as Apple Podcasts. And
on the socials, it's at MPGIS Official. The YouTube is The Most Popular Girls. But if you're watching this, you probably already subscribed to it.
Oh, the funniest thing, dude, I don't know if you saw this, but on TikTok, all we've been posting is just shorts. I've just been posting little clips of the show. Yeah. When I first posted the teaser about the podcast, so many comments were like, I thought this was a fan account. Holy fuck, this is really them? Like, they did not believe this is the official account. When I started posting, there were much bigger MPGIS channels. We've now overtaken them, but that is really us. MPGIS Official on TikTok. That's us.
Yep.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Thanks for everything, guys. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.